let's give a minute or so people to join and yeah. Perhaps you can share the
Yep.
slides
Give
that we have
me
made.
2 seconds. I'm not trying to dox my entire screen real quick.
Mhm. Zohaib, are you there?
We cannot hear you, Zoheb.
Yeah, no worries. Mm, Chancellor is here. Oh my God, I'm scared. Don't ban
Maybe we
us.
should stop before we start then if Gensler's here. He's already got his eye on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have been leveling up, as we can see by the infographic. Been real cool. See?
Yeah, we were expecting. I think if all the positions were to be closed, we would have been at 100 million in volume today, and that would have been in 10 days, more or less. But we are at 90 million, and it's a great achievement at Flash with the phase to launch as well. So it's just beast holders trading, and can't wait to
Yeah.
have the public launch and see where we head.
Yeah, no wash trading happening here. It's all beasts. Some have done pretty well, I think, too.
Yeah. And the interesting thing that I've noted across marketplaces is, the leveled up beasts are not listed at all. Like all the level up beasts are being hodled. It's just the lower beasts that are being listed and traded upon. So
Well,
there
yeah, I
is
mean
value in.
they have the people that have the higher level beasts. They actually use them. They trade their faces off. They're excited for the next stuff. I know. I mean, I list my level 4 when I'm not trading, just for funsies. But as soon as I'm trading, I unlist it and use it in my wallet. They are tools at the end. Well, they look nice and they look cool and all that other stuff, but they are quite nice tools to have.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have some quick stats. That is more than 100,000 fees generated, more than 6,000 trades being matched, and around, one 326 beasts being level up. I think this number is not right. I need to check it again, but I think it's a bit higher than that. But yeah, uh, I'm gonna check it on Metrica. So yeah,
I think unless I did my
l-
mental math wrong, which always possible, I
uh,
suppose. But yeah,
yeah,
so these
the stats have been very high, and we are kind of. I think we are under calculating most of the stuff at Flash. So yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like these don't include I believe the last 24 hours or so yet. But obviously, like all these stats, keep in mind these are purely beast holders, so limited user base, limited liquidity as well. We raised the caps on liquidity, and everyone was happy. But within a day, everyone's like back to fully like going full long and asking for more. So that's very exciting. Again, thank you to everyone who provided liquidity. I'm sure I guess I mean I shouldn't be thanking y'all. We're giving you quite a nice yield on that. But yeah, no, it's been really exciting, and we're excited to move to the next phases very soon. While we're here, though, I think one of the first things we are kind of a couple things that Flash. What makes Flash, what it is, and how are we providing the Flash experience to you guys? And we've highlighted this a little bit before, but I think it's important now that people have used the platform, as well as people are kind of seeing from the outside looking in, seeing, okay, the LP is getting full in 45 minutes with just beast holders. Um, High level beasts are not being sold really, and things like this. Like people are starting to take notice. Like, oh wait, there's something more than a simple peer-to-peer exchange. Pool to peer, peer to pool. My gosh, than a simple
It can
exchange
be
that uses that. Yeah, it can be either one, I suppose. And you don't really, and this is what's underneath the hood. This is what's making it all happen. So Anas, you want to just hit up the pricing engine, and then maybe I'll go through the margin frame.
yes. So yeah, the like we are seeing extremely high volatility in crypto markets with the news of ETF being fake sometimes and then being confirmed by SEC themselves. And during these movements, we have seen a lot of action and the engine working flawlessly by protecting LPs from the toxic flow that we feared because of high volatility. And like Solana is still a long tail asset which with very high volatility, and it's very hard to tame a volatile asset as such. And we are seeing that the engine that we have worked closely with Pith on it by getting the slot data. And when we used to run on our Macs, they used to just just get stuck because it was like gigabytes of data in spreadsheets. And I remember I had to buy a new MacBook M3 for this sole purpose of building the pricing engine. So that was an interesting task to do. And yeah, and finally seeing it in action on the blockchain is something that is keeping me up, and being very excited to see the engine that we have designed so meticulously work as we wanted it to work to. And yeah, and one more interesting thing is, like this is known across the industry that when we have like high volatility and high usage of blockchain of Solana chain, Pit starts to stale a bit. And due to that, you get this error of not being able to open your position or close your position. So we have actually, like prioritized on closing positions first. So we have added an option called Backup Oracle system in the settings option, which you can switch it on. And even if Pit goes stale, you would be able to close the position at the right price, because we take the price from Pitnet, which is Pit's parallel SVM deployment, where they also post their prices. That is, and these prices are not to be taken lightly. These are prices aggregated across 60 verified publishers, and you have aggregated weighted price from very worthy publishers. So we take these prices from Pitnet and help you to quote your position and close it on market. So right now, when Pit goes stale, you won't be able to open a position, and it's similar across the industry actually. Like it's not just that Flash. At Flash, you won't be able to open position. You actually won't be able to open a position anywhere else as well. So we have identified this problem, and we would be, adding a feature set to allow trading during these times as well. So this is an interesting observation that we have gone through for the past 10 days. Like I know the the time is very low to have an observation about, but we have taken notice of it. So yeah,
Well, to
that's
to be
where we are.
fair, we've had a flush. We've had a nice like 20% move in Sol in a very short amount of time. During that time, we had a fake SEC announcement. So I think I know it was been tough for traders out there, but both of those resulted in pretty large liquidation events on Flash and just everywhere else. But in some way, um, it's a blessing in disguise, at least on our side, and there's, as well as being able to provide a better experience not only for our traders while protecting the LPs. Um, it's really like taken our engine and put it to its max. You know, like you thought if this was designed well, yeah, we're
I
happy to
think
say we're
your
happy with the
voice is
result.
your voice is a bit cutting off, Trex.
Oh
I think
no.
you're yeah, yeah.
Let me
You need
double
to close
check.
the application. I think your RAM is being jammed, or I don't know. But yeah, the interesting thing was during the fake news of SEC, like ETF going live back on January 10th, we had the biggest liquidation on Flash happening, and we liquidated around 1.1 million worth positions, and all those positions were closed with at zero bankruptcies, without any bankruptcies. So that is an interesting note as well. Yeah. Okay. Trex, you there?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, still here. Is audio a little bit better?
Yeah, yeah, it's better.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, as Anas was saying, like engine has been taken to its limits and performed well, and we are, and yeah, we're keep at, and like we've learned some things. I think we improved our liquidator bot some. We've also are finding ways to improve it further because this is going to be the backbone of the exchange and what allows us to provide 100x leverage. And like maybe this kind of moves into like the margin framework that we're in. And this was mostly developed in house. So like the pricing engine was developed like right next to Pyth engineers. We've we've asked them all sorts of questions and really specific things on how they're posting prices. I remember talking with the CTO Jayant, and you know just probing him on like how can we get something 400 milliseconds faster, and he was just confused because like no one's really asked him that before. Because when it comes to liquidations and you know managing margin, especially on 100x leverage, 400 milliseconds matters. So we've really asked a lot of them, and they've really they've responded in kind and probably above and beyond what anyone could expect from a team. So large shout out to Pith. This kind of goes, and then the next thing that we developed once we had all this data was the margin framework, and we've kind of decided to go with the isolated margin. This keeps users pretty safe in that they know exactly what they are risking. If you are if you are trading on high leverage, if on other exchanges, you sometimes it's unclear whether your entire wallet assets are at risk. Whereas in on Flash, you know exactly how much your initial bet is, so to speak, and therefore you know your max loss as a trader. On the other side of this, for the LPs, they kind of know again they have the same rule set that doesn't have complexities of different amount of collaterals and trying to value them all appropriately, all that kind of stuff. So isolator margin kind of keeps both users safe in terms of their assets and LPs safe as well. We've kind of validated all this through a full economic audit, as we've written a blog on it. You can even find the source code for this, for the Python simulation of it, on our GitHub. So, and all this was used to validate both all the risk parameters, whether it comes to the fee structure, to when positions get liquidated, as well as when like the high volatility mode and close only modes get triggered as well. So all the different things that are kind of making the exchange what it is have been simulated to the fullest in that endeavor. We've also simulated pool balancing in that as well to make sure that the pool never gets overweight or underweight any one of the index assets. In this case, for now, BTC, Ethereum, and Solana, as well as USDC. However, we're taking it a step further. Like we're happy with how it's functioning right now, but we realize like technology keeps progressing, and right now there is now the ability to further automate the pool balancing through Jito bundles. And perhaps Zoheb can give a little bit of a rundown of like, well, how are Jito bundles involved in this, and how we're going to be rebalancing the pools in the future, as well as what the hell intents are and how that is different from normal 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 like central limit order books or perhaps like firing traits on Jupiter, that kind of stuff.
Uh,
Zoheb, you there?
mm,
Perhaps not. Well, Anas,
I
we know
yeah,
quite a bit about it, so we can definitely.
yeah,
I'll let you
outside.
answer.
So sure, sure. So basically, the swap engine is a revamped version where we work on intents, where basically instead of user being asked like what slippage or what fill they want, the pool will tell what it wants, and it gets from the user side filled. So imagine the pool is underweight right now. Like 2 days back, a pool was very heavily underweight on Bitcoin, and the reason was due to high volatility in Bitcoin. People were swapping out a lot of Bitcoin from the pool. So what happened there was, people were not able to open positions by swapping in Bitcoin, and that's when I bought off around $215,000 worth of Bitcoin from the market, and tried to like I swapped it using our swap engine. And that's when I realized that the offering that we had at Flash, like the offer that I was getting at Flash, was the best across the market, even if you compare it what we got through Jupiter. And Jupiter is an aggregator, so they had like their own perpetuals engine, Meteora's DLMM and Orca's Clam. And what we saw is like Flash was offering much better price at a higher fees with for the swap. And that's what was very interesting to us, that Flash as a swap engine also works very well. And it's about time that we're gonna open up through we are not gonna integrate the swap through Jupiter's aggregator, but we'll open up it for arbitrageurs on chain, so that they can balance the pool much better. Because we don't want the flow of small sizes. We need flow of bigger sizes, and people who are able to quickly balance the pools across the ecosystem. Because if you see the Jito's dashboard, that the tipping dashboard, you will see that a lot of traders, actually a lot of arbitrageurs, balance the Orca's Clam against open book decks or against Radium's Clam. So we expect our pool to be there where people would, if they see there is a cheaper price to take, and that will balance our pool, they will basically, you know, buy from Orca and sell it on Flash's liquidity pool, and they will be rewarded for as such. And Flash would be balanced, and we that all would be done in one single slot. So that is something interesting that we would be doing with the Jito bundles moving forward for balancing the pool.
Yeah.
And one more interesting thing that we want to highlight is, since we are offering a 100x leverage on every asset that is listed on Flash, there was an edge case where people could, like if they are able to imbalance the pool in certain slot and then open a 100x position and close it, they would be able to front run the published positions. And we were, this is like this problem came to our minds back like 5 to 4 months ago. And we pinged the great folks at Jito, and we started brainstorming on it. And while we just got this interesting idea. Like the suggestion came from Jito was like, like why don't you basically pause the PNL for at least 10 seconds, so to in order to
I think it's
protect
shorter than
from
that, actually. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Before we move on
So
to MEV protection, because this relates to, it's one thing worth noting that these arbitrageurs, especially the ones doing Jito bundles, also will arbitrage versus centralized exchange exposure. So they will take trades and then hedge them out outside of the ecosystem as well, giving us access to even greater liquidity than's available on Solana. And again, like before we move to MEV protection, because it was a pretty cool thing that we did with Jito too, and consulting with them. I wanted to like get a little bit into like how has liquidations been working on Flash so far. So I'm happy to say that liquidations have proven to be a very they've proven to work quite well. They are, I think, they produce a very high elevated fee for LPs and as well as the POL for all the NFTPs that claim fees from there. and we were actually able to process a liquidation in the size of like $420,000 or so during the first flush, and we were able to do that profitably without any bankruptcies, as Anas was saying. And that was only when we had 1.3 million of liquidity on it. So it's kind of wild to say like we processed a liquidation that was one third the size of the total liquidity on the exchange, and nothing, everything worked smoothly. Since then, I think we've had multiple six-figure liquidations with again like similar stats.
We just
And yeah,
had
so
today we saw a liquidation of about $200,000 as well.
yes, indeed. So you guys are leveraging. I think we have the numbers. I have to confirm the numbers, but I think the average leverage being taken on Flash is above 50x, which is kind of wild because on a lot of our competitors, that's above the maximum leverage that you can even take. So it's really cool to see you guys just absolutely aping through, and honestly, like doing all right too. Like if you look at total trader P and L, it's not too bad. But yeah, it's awesome to see everything work despite us offering uh, next level leverage, next level experience, as we strive to do so here at Flash. And again, we're going to keep improving things. Uh, and this goes into the last bit of MEV protection. As Anas was saying, we developed this with like the top MEV players in Solana, and they really helped us fine tune all the things that happen at a minuscule time scale. And yeah, now we can kind of continue. I think Zoheb's mic is working now.
Hey Trex,
Mm,
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Maybe not
Guys,
any.
am I audible?
Oh, yes, you are. Okay, maybe he can't hear us. Anyways, but yeah, Nas, as you were saying, like the MEV protection developed with the Jito and other MEV guys.
yes, so basically, this allows us to not, fulfill any unrealized PNL that happens in less than 10 seconds. So basically, if someone opens a 100x position and tries to close that in the same slot or in a like next 20 slots or so, we don't allow the taker to close the that position and take the profits away from the exchange, because there's a chance where people can front run the position, the prices that are being published on chain. So there is this interesting delay on that. We have the fees structure as well, which is like 10 bips on opening and 10 bips on closing, which is around 20 bips in total. So, anyone who wants to front run the price, they need to, front run it by more than 40 bips, which is very hard given the assets that are being traded on Flash or Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So you cannot move these assets for 40 bips by yourself in less than that much time and try to front run and take advantage from the pool. So the interesting thing was like this was, brought up by Zoheb and Abdul on team back in, 5 months ago, that okay, there is a chance that things can be front run on Flash, and we got in touch with the absolute interesting team at Jito and got it built out, and it's live right now. Not many people can test it, but if time comes and if someone wants to go against the liquidity pool, they are all we will see that how it goes, and the protection would kick in.
Yeah. I've actually tried to see if I can test this as a user, and I think this is kind of the best part about this protection is that it is imperceptible to a normal user. I try to click through the UI as fast as possible on high leverage, and it was still imperceptible because it takes about 2 to 3 seconds at its fastest with the best internet connection, best RPC to open and close a trade. So yeah, like I'm sure none of you have noticed this protection feature, but it is there and it does protect the LPs from getting hit by MEV guys. Also, like single block bad prices. If Pith ever posts something really terrible, this stuff also helps prevent the pool from taking losses in that case as well.
100%.
We'll okay. Let's clear this up. Let's clear this up in the we have some good questions about leverage
Sure.
trading. I think this is pretty important to understand, especially with the pool-to-peer model. So the question is, so like if everyone just 100x longs, nobody shorts, and the market goes up, does the LP get wrecked? Like what happens in this scenario? While the liquidity pool is the counterparty to all trades, there are limits to how many longs can be taken, and as many traders have realized, these limits are reached. Unfortunately, are being reached pretty regularly right now. And what that means is that the pool never is guaranteeing more trades than it has assets in it. So the worst that the pool can be exposed to is something to the effect of like being effectively long about 20% crypto versus 80% USDC or something like that is what it works out to. All those assets, the exposure to assets when you're taking a trade against the pool, is being lent out to you, and the pool has those assets, and it's merely paying you out when you do close and profit. So the LP doesn't necessarily get wrecked. Does it perform as well as it might have it quote unquote should have based on its balance of assets? The answer to that is obviously no, right? Because the traders have borrowed that exposure. But what does happen in this case is that during those max utilization moments, the pool is earning 1 basis point per hour on all those long positions that are being taken on max utilization. So the pool is actually earning some above 100% APR during those moments. And that's kind of the trade off that the LP gets, right? Like, yes, I don't get exposure to the asset itself, but I am getting a pretty insane yield on something that is tracking crypto at a low level. And what that results in essentially like over time, um, this is the scenario that was presented was pretty extreme one. Everyone gets everything right and they close it. But over time, what this results in is like the pool will track the index that it has, but will have the additional trading fees taken up over and over again.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of how the pool works. And then obviously, like if people short, now the pool is now now the longs and shorts are balanced out, and now it's just tracking the index on top of generating a ton of fees from margin fees, open and close, etc. I like this next question. For it, it's like does the pool automatically try to balance the amount of shorts and longs? Other exchanges might use funding rates for this stuff. On this exchange, for right now, we are using purely a margin fee based system, and so there is no explicit long and short ratio that we're trying to aim for. But if there's a lot of longs happening, they will be paying a high margin fee, and likewise on the other side, when you are shorting, you'll be paying,
I
and
just
like short's a popular trade, you'll be paying a lot of margin fees too.
want
So
to
there is an
add one point.
incentive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just want to add one point is like a lot of people ask this about the skew of being the longs and shorts on Flash. So, given the index, the way index is structured, it's structured like 45% is crypto assets and 55% is USDC. So, even if everyone on Flash is long, the max that they can take is like 45% of the pool. You have to understand that. So that is 50%, like half of the pool is long. It cannot be 100% long. So,
Correct. And that
and
and that and
the
that only
max,
takes away the exposure to crypto. It still just exposed to USDC effectively at that point. It's not like it's going to lose that money.
exactly. So we can never be fully long or fully short on the FLP. So people need to understand that.
Um, yeah, happy to run it through as many times as it takes for people to understand, because I know it takes a minute to finally wrap your head around. Yeah, it's a pretty cool product that's crypto native. I think when we set out to build Flash, we realized that putting normal market solutions on chain, sure, it kind of works, but at the end of the day, like this is crypto, we're trading on chain. Like a new model kind of has to be prevalent, and the pool to peer model seems to be that model. It scales extremely well. Traders are happy with being able to blast through 100x trades with some pretty high size, and LPs are happy to get the yield that they do with the subsequent exposure that they get uh, when liquidity providing.
Yeah, let's move on then.
Sure.
I
Tommy,
still don't know what
I'll
this.
get you a little later. The next slide is actually going to be highlighting some of actually let me just answer this last one. Where does liquidation money go to? The all liquidation money goes is returned back to the LPs. Um, yeah, there you go. Zoheb's answering in text, and it's credited as like a very elevated fee to the LPs when they happen. All right, the next slide is going to be highlighting the top beasts. We've it's been very cool to see people level up their beasts, and we've actually had one person get to level 6 already, which is insane. A lot of volume, and here they are. Here are the top beasts as of right now. We have actually 13 level 4s, but for symmetry's sake, we went to just 12 there. I took myself out. And then so far we have 2 level 5s, and we have one king beast, so to speak. That is indeed a level 6. I'm not going to dox them, even though they have in our beast chat already. But these are your top holders. If you see them around, you know what's up. They've been using Flash a lot, and they've been trading an
Yeah.
absolute a ton.
One one interesting thing that I wanted to highlight was, like the level 6 beast did around 6 million or $8 million in volume till date. So that is equivalent to what Tensor does in 2 days.
Yeah, he just did
So
it by himself.
he, yeah, by himself. So Tensor does around 4 million every day, and this beast alone did two times of it. So that was something very interesting to take a note. And I think the guy comes from Tensor's team. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not actually sure who the other level 5s are. And then we've seen the level 4s. On their Beast Discord, if you hang around, you'll see all the ones who have connected their main beast to their username on Discord. All of them will have a little tag next to them. I see Dark Mode has her level 4 there. Uh, yeah, Zyganx has its level 3. So everyone has their level tag next to them. And yeah, it's kind of cool little you know what you're talking about if you're level 4, level 5, the level 6 that leads us here. We hope to see more of you get up here. We'll always highlight at least the level 5s and level 6s. Yeah, we have Tom over here at level 4. All right. Yeah. So, any other observations you've had on us with beast holders leveling it up? I know we had
Yeah.
a fun quote dropped in SMB Gen 2 chat the other day.
Yeah. The interesting thing that people, like pro traders, know about this, and this is something known in the industry, is like the Binance's VIP levels or Bybit's VIP levels are very hard to get. And if you are able to get those VIP accounts, you are able to essentially open up positions with a higher margin, because like when you get a fee discount of around 30%, you actually unlock 30% of your collateral to be used when you're leverage trading on a high leverage. So imagine you're opening a position of $100. Right now, if you're holding level 1 beast, you get around 95 bips of fees. You're charged around 95 bips. But
Uh,
similarly, if you're using a
9.5.
level 9.5,
9.5.
yeah.
We just take,
So
most of your position.
yeah, so you like that collateral is cut by 9.5, and then you are given the leverage on that collateral. But if you are holding a level 6 beast, you get a higher fee discount. That means your collateral is not that much, like you don't get a higher fees, and your much of your collateral is actually used to get margin on Flash. So this is actually done by a lot of market makers. Like I used to market make on BitMEX, and having an access to such kind of account actually helped you a lot to trade a lot on the exchange, because your collateral is not eaten up much by fees. So eventually, I think people will understand that as they trade more on Flash, given the fee discounts, and also the transaction fees on Flash is very low. Like if you start with zero point 0.1 Sol, you can actually use that zero point 0.1 Sol to last across a month. But if you compare that same usage across other protocols, you will see that point 0.1 sol won't last you enough because the fees for each transaction is bit higher on other exchanges. So that is something that will stand out as we go much more into public, where people will take note of things as they trade more on different exchanges, and they will understand that okay, the transaction cost, even though it's in this matter of 10 cents or 20 cents, it actually adds up a lot when you trade more. So that has been, meticulously designed, and the programs are really cost effective in that terms, and they save a lot of compute. And shout out to the dev team on that. So yeah, just wanted to highlight this. And yeah, so the leveling up is, it's like, you're like, if you're a profitable trader and you trade a lot in the markets, and holding a level 6 beast would be actually more profitable to trade on Flash rather than any other exchange that you have, like be it a centralized or a decentralized exchange. So that is one highlight of level 6 beast, and I think that will command a very high premium in the market as people try to understand the economics of it.
Right, yeah, and again, like we said earlier in the call, like, you don't see the level 5s or level 6s or even many level 4s on the market because people are using them to get that fee discount. Um, so these and that's kind of like the vision of Flash and the beast itself, right? Like that these end up in the holders who can most use them and make most use out of all the benefits that they come with. Um, so yeah, it's really exciting. What one message that popped up in the SMB Gen 2 Discord was someone who was buying beasts off the floor and then leveling them up and then selling them as level 3s or level 4s. And someone questioned was like, well, like if you're gonna do that and you can do that profitably, why not just trade profitably? And it's like, no, it's this fun game. Like, and I think that's really resonated with me when I'm trading on Flash. It is a lot of fun. I am looking at that VP counter go up and up. I haven't been able to do so in the last week as I've been working on other things on Flash. But I remember that first day or so when I was really testing things out and trying to get to level 4 first. It did feel like a game. You're just trying to gain those experience points and level up that beast. We're glad that like it's resonating in so many different ways to people who are just leveling them up for fun, people who are using them as fee discounts, and obviously we're going to have the next phase being released very soon. This transitions nicely into the next slide, which are the referral rebates. Um, as you all know, we did reveal this in the first community call we had, but referrals are coming very soon, and they are one of the best ways to earn voltage points. We've been testing it internally, and it is pretty cool to see your like if you refer someone, all of a sudden as they're trading, you're just banking in those voltage points, and on top of that, you're also getting airdropped all the your rebate straight to your wallet. So it is a pretty cool experience, and ask if you want to like just break it down a little bit, uh, perhaps
Sure,
a bit more
sure. So
detail.
yes, yes. So the we like at Flash, we have actually designed a really great experience for starting up with referrals. Like, just wanted to give a highlight on that. So basically, like, if you compare it, what we compared with existing referral systems. So in existing referral systems, you have to take the URL and copy that code and then activate to get that referral advantage. But at Flash, it does not happen like that. You just use that URL, mint your access, and that's it. You're on. And that access that you mint as a referee would be giving back all its rebates to the holder of that referred NFT, and that rebate would be airdrop to that wallet every time your referee takes a trade. And it just works flawlessly. Like, we have been testing it internally, and that instant feel of getting that drop in your wallet is awesome to witness, and I'm sure a lot of people would be happy about it. Like, they can, what basically my suggestion on that would be, like, take one, like, there are two ways to go with it. Like, if you are very very big influencer and you have a good circle of people to refer to, what you can do is, like, you can take one level 1 beast, create the referral URL and share it around, and make sure you put this level 1 beast in an empty account, so that you have a track of how much amount of money you're going to make from your referring system. And we do show that on the UI as well, the amount of money that you are making through referrals. So that is one way, and the second way is buying the highest level of beast on the market, because the higher the beast, the higher the rebate you get on your referees activities. So that is one more interesting thing, and the URL can be shared with anyone, and like they just use that URL and mint their pass, and that basically creates an NFT owned trading account, referred NFT trading account. So it's also one more Noda that is created on the referee's wallet to interact with Flash. And yeah, as I said, it's a seamless experience, and I would we pretty much think people would love it. And comparing with existing referral models in our industry, this one is very different and a very innovative model and user friendly as well. Like, we take much pride in having UX best flows on Flash, so this would be also one of the best flows that people would love to do on Flash. So yeah, and the points as well. So this is the highest dollar worth point that you get. Like on Flash, $1 gives you 10 voltage points when you are trading, and $1 earned fees gives you around 50 voltage points. But $1 in rebate fees gives you around 250 voltage points. So this is the biggest voltage point that you earn per dollar. So the referrals are designed as such that they actually push people to do more referring than trading or LPing itself. And we all know, by bringing more people on Flash would actually benefit every beast holder itself. So like, the whole mechanics of Flash Beast was to make beasts as the ambassadors of Flash Trade, and in turn get all the benefits out of it as well. So unlike the existing point system that you see in our ecosystem, where you don't earn anything and you just expect some kind of airdrop to land X amount of time, we at Flash are giving you the benefits right from day one. Like, holding your beast, you get fee discounts, you get you get your revenue, and if you LP, you get more revenue, and you do referring, you get more revenue. So we are just aligning people here, and we are not giving them imaginary points and making them wait for an airdrop that will be there. But yeah, so just wanted to highlight this point.
Yeah, no, it is a pretty great experience. It the seamless, like the instant fee rebate happening as your referee is trading, is kind of ridiculous. It happens so fast that unless you have both wallets open, you'll miss it. If you switch, it just happened instantly. Like, so it's pretty cool. A couple questions in the chat. If a beast refers a user to the platform and then that user eventually gets a beast themselves, unfortunately the referral, you will no longer get rebates from that user. Otherwise, you're able to do this like double dipping and get this like massive effective fee discount if you refer your own wallet and then put a beast on that wallet. Like, you'd effectively get something like 50% fee discounts. So yeah, we've kind of designed this such that you know the levels are earned here. While referring is one of the best ways, but at the end of the day, like, you're bringing in someone who's doing a lot of volume to earn that those VP points, and so we're happy to give it to you. But at the end of the day, like, we have to make sure that those VP points are not gameable by any kind of trickery with wallets and self referrals, all that stuff. Like I said, the
Yep.
team has been around the block and have seen all sorts of games that you can play. These systems designed it well.
Yep.
Yep. So we have a couple. Another one that we saw. Yeah. So, and then another key thing to note is that when a beast refers another user to it, that that trading account is forever linked to the beast itself. What that means is that if you are an influencer or someone who can get a lot of referrals underneath an account, that beast will carry those revenues in perpetuity.
To its
So if
owner.
you to its owner. So whoever like wants to grab a lot of referrals and get them trading all underneath their account, that beast now has the chance to sell that as almost like a business, right? Because that has revenues tied to it, and you're able to sell that beast, and now the new owner of that beast will get all that referral income coming into them instead. So that's
Yep.
pretty exciting. We've really like I said, the whole idea of the beasts are to be effective VIP trading accounts as you see them on the centralized exchanges. These are just tradable, transferable, and permissionless, and working all in decentralized manner on chain. So all these features that you see and that are happening, all that stuff is actually happening on chain. The UI is merely reading on chain data. So it is pretty cool.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
all
then
handled.
yeah, go ahead.
That is it's all handled on chain. And like as I said, like we see beast holders as ambassadors of Flash, and like they are pretty much as a team at Flash. Like their success and our success are aligned at here with Flash. So yeah, just want to add that point.
For sure. Referees do get a kickback. They will get a 5% fee discount when they hop on Flash.
Yeah.
And when,
Mm,
you know, very soon. Working very soon, and we're working quite hard to get it out as soon as possible. Obviously, you want to make it pretty big and get people very excited. And yeah, as someone else noticed, it seems we'll probably need more liquidity for this event. And yeah, we've noticed that as well. So don't worry. We're gonna make this as big as possible, team side, so we can really make sure that the first step into the public from Flash is the best one we can take.
yeah. Uh, there is an interesting question that I just wanted to answer is
Yeah,
about
go for it.
the uh, IP value around beasts. So, like we've been talking a lot on this internally that like every exchange needs a mascot or some sort of thing that you can latch people into the exchange itself. Because like you can sell the idea of it being decentralized, you can sell it the idea of being it fast, but at the end of the day, you need something that is cute or something that is easily sellable so that people get into it and they just get onto Flash. So we see beasts doing that, and like taking some clues and notes from Klanos, Pudgies, and Mad Lads themselves. We see beasts as something that are absolutely sellable cuties that can be used to attract a lot more people onto the exchange itself. And we are working on materials that would add more value to the beasts every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's worth noting we have a holder chat, and then we also have a Chad Beast chat, which requires 30 beasts to join. So if you are a holder of multiple beasts, definitely put them together in one wallet and get access to that chat. It's a nice, it's a cool environment. Obviously, we hear feedback from all places, but obviously those are going to be weighted a little bit more, as these are the ones who are heavily invested, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think another note that I wanted to make was it's important to realize, when looking when you're looking for beasts to buy on the market, the best thing and we're pushing markets to improve this, but the best thing to do is make sure that the beast you're buying is the level that you're seeing. Sometimes the level is not updated automatically, and so if you are tech savvy enough, make sure you can check the metadata of any NFT and see how many voltage points they have, what level they are, etc. So yeah, just when you're buying or selling these pieces, make sure you know what you're buying and selling. I think this will only get more complex as we add referral rebates. But at the end of the day, like it's up to the users to be as informed as possible in the markets that they are participating in, and we'll obviously push to marketplaces to make this as accessible as possible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom and the Tune. I think I'm going to do a guide of how to explore um, NFT metadata, trading account data. 'Cause I know it's a bit intimidating. Solana explorers have gotten better. They used to be much worse, but still, it is a bit intimidating to click through all that and make sense of it all.
Sure, man.
Next up is just things to come that we've heard from the community. So number one, especially for those multiple beast holders, claim all fees from all. It's a button that we are working on. These transactions are a little bit heavy, so So these are so to like if you have 20 beasts, stacking up all those transactions is a bit tough, but we're working on it and happen. Next is obviously stop loss and take profit orders. These are some top priority and internally testing as well. We're getting to work, at a more acceptable to be like a better experience, right? We know like as traders really rely on these to be able to set up their trades before they leave for the day if they're working, actually leave their computer. So we know this is important and making sure that it's functioning to a solid standard. Obviously, there will always be caveats with these kind of orders, as they have exchange. We have heard improved chart functionality. You guys have given some good ideas there, whether that be like posting liquidation price on the chart, that way you're able to visualize it. I do think some of the candles are not updating like as fast as they should be as well. And yeah, I think we want make it a little more obvious about like the tools that you can actually use in charts, because these charts come from TradingView. And so if you've used on TradingView, you guys are hilarious in the chat by the way, reading all this. Um, if you use TradingView charts to chart things, you can do all the same stuff on Flash on the platform itself. Perhaps we need to make that a little bit more obvious so that when you want to trade, all you have to do is hop on Flash. Another improvement that we want are specific error messaging. Specific error messages when a transaction fails. Right now, a transaction fails and you just kind of get this error, and people will come to our chat, post what happened. So the Explorer and all the Explorer, and if you actually go to the Explorer, if you scroll down and you see the logs, they're actually pretty verbose and well defined. So you'll be able to see like, oh, this transaction didn't go through because the slippage limitation was reached. Oh, this transaction didn't go through because the amount of collateral available to trade into is not there. Another error message. We have like a list of 8 that we'll add, and that way users will know like, oh, my transaction failed because of Y reason, so therefore I should do Z. So maybe that's a priority fee. Maybe it's switching on the backup oracle. Maybe it's doing all this others. There's always something you can do as a user to get your trade through, for the most part. Only exceptions probably during close only mode. Things are obviously the protocols,
Yeah.
the
So
exchanges.
just want to add one point is like when the exchange goes into close only mode, that does not mean we won't allow you to close your position. That only means you won't be able to open positions or add liquidity to FLP. But existing positions and people would be able to be closed, and people would also be able to remove the liquidity as well. So yeah, just want to highlight this point.
Yeah, for sure. As always, when you're trading, I do encourage people to read the documentation so they know the rule sets that they are trading in. But if you are going to blast away without reading, find out in that fashion, then yeah, please, we'll always be here to explain what's going on. And then
Yeah.
finally, the boost feature for multiple beast holders. Perhaps Anas, you want to get into this? I know you're one of the main designers of this feature.
Yeah. So basically, the boost feature was added so that people find, some kind of gamification around holding multiple beasts, and which would also allow people to, level up their level 1 beasts to level 6 or level 5 very fast. So depending on the multiple beasts that you're holding, you get you get an what do you call, like a multiplier. So it's a system that we have designed where, like if you are holding multiple level 1 beasts, the multiplier would be X percentage, and multiple level 2 beasts would give you X amount of multiplier. So depending on multiple beasts at multiple levels, you would have a multiplier added, and eventually you would be able to, level gain points at a very faster rate than the existing system that offers you through trading, LPing, and referring. So the boost feature would really help people to, level up their individual beasts fastly. And people need to take note that the voltage points will only accrue to the primary beast, not to all beasts, because this is all happening on chain. So this is not your normal Web 2 kind of point system. It is this fully on chain point system that is recorded on chain. So we need one beast to be selected that accrues all your points. So make sure you select the primary beast to accrue your voltage points or get advantages out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've seen the docs, you know a token allocation is in the works, and those levels might matter some.
Yeah. And the next thing is about the dashboard. We do
Yes,
have an
dashboard.
internal dashboard. Yeah, we do have an internal dashboard that is used to keep a track of everything that is happening on Flash. But that is an internal dashboard and it won't support the traffic that you guys would bring in. And it is supposed to be internal. And we are in touch with Flipside Crypto and some other folks at Dune, but it seems they are taking their own sweet time to get those dashboards on. But I would say if any of you guys know anyone who can get us hold of these folks who are able to create public dashboard, let us know and we will provide all the endpoints they need on from on chain stats, like parameters, because all our program ideals are published on Solana Explorer, Solscan, or Sol. Like it's there, and anyone can find out the total fees that is accrued, the total volume that exchange is doing from explorers itself. So we just need to get. We are in touch with people, but they're taking their own time. But we'll have something by Monday, most probably.
For sure. Yeah, and as always,
Yeah.
keep providing the feedback. Love all the testing that has been happening within our community, and obviously, really appreciate any of the like all the patience that has been afforded to us. We're always trying to improve our communications, as you guys have said, and yeah, moving forward, we're really excited because we're finally getting to unleash Flash as an exchange to its fullest potential. Um,
Yeah.
and we're as we keep testing things, it just kind of reaffirms that the ideas we had 6 7 months ago, they're finally here. They're working well. They can always be improved, and they will be improved. But as of right now, as I'm sure all the traders have noticed, it's a pretty fun experience so far.
Yes. And the interesting, like, we have taken this deliberate approach of working out things in a perfect fashion before releasing, because we have seen that the opportunity at hand is quite big and Solana is capable of handling huge traffic along with Flash's UX. So we believe if all things are working well and we are able to execute in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm not sure about the date, but we would be able to at least compete with one tier one perpetuals centralized exchange. So, and also with the offering that we're gonna have with non crypto assets like equities, metals, and forex markets, we believe there is a chance to serve higher volumes on Flash. And as ambassadors of Flash, the Flash Beast would it would be great if you guys can work on better marketing ideas where we can bring in people to trade the forex markets, the equities, the metals that Flash is going to offer, because like all our goals are aligned, to be honest. Like if Flash grows, we all grow, being beast holder or being team, so it's all on the same side. So yeah, just wanted to add this point.
Yeah, and the team bought therapies on secondary for the most part. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we are very
yeah, yeah,
aligned in that regard, just strictly aligned in that
yeah,
regard as
yeah.
well.
We didn't had any allocation in the Flash Beast sale. Like team had zero allocation. All we did was we were just whitelisted, and each of them got two beasts that they bought at $180, three soul that everyone was paying for. And after that, we all had to bid with you guys around on Tensor. So we all are on the same page with the Flash Beasts.
Great. Let's do a few questions. We're at the hour. Do a couple questions and then let people go on their way. So Tommy, when pool 2/pool 3/pool 4/ however many pools we open, we'll see. Will there be stricter risk parameters? There's always going to be like probably stricter risk parameters, but also it's going to depend on the markets, right? So like when forex, equities, all these guys have trading hours, and so those pools are going to have specific trading hours as well. They'll have just different risk parameters because these are less volatile assets. So the risk parameters that we use for crypto that are significantly more volatile aren't going to work. They're not going to trigger at the moments that they should be triggering uh, when trading these other assets. On the other hand, if you're trading more volatile assets, let's say something like Bonk, you probably don't want to stop trading when it moves 3% because that happens every 5 minutes. So like it's all going to be very market dependent, and we have a rough framework to evaluate every single asset, how volatile it is, and what risk parameters are appropriate for it. But one thing that we'll always do is we'll kind of ballpark the figures that through that framework first, and then we'll ask for historical data from Pith and other providers to make sure that in practice, given it works in like very high volatile moments, and that way we're able to deliver the user experience that Flash is known for right now among Beast holders, but will be known for with the public as we gear up for referrals to go live. So yeah, everything's going to be taken into account and be done carefully and meticulously. But at the end of the day, like the experience should be quite nice regardless of what you're trading on Flash.
I yeah. Are there any more questions? Hmm.
Let's see.
As always, like we have put out great amount of documentation and blogs for people to read. And the interesting thing is, like, when there are no docs and blogs, people will ask about it, and when you have it, people won't ask, like people will again ask about it in a different way in chats. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, as far as the next thing the Beast holders are going to be, what we're quote unquote asking for, but also is going to be probably pretty profitable as a Beast holder is when referrals go live, be ready and and really push those links everywhere. It should like the Beasts, like yes, they get some Beast LP fee share, but that's a pretty small part of it. Like for traders, like the level 6 guy has saved something in the neighborhood of a few $1,000s in trading fees. When people start referring, that's going to be like real hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, if it's a big influencer in trading and for rebates going to that person. Uh, so again, like those, like focus on those things, and because that's where the real money lies. So if you know a
Yeah.
big trader, they're gonna find a lot of value. Or if you don't want to tell them about beasts themselves and just have them trade on their own because you want the rebate, that's also an approach, I suppose.
I think that pretty much sums up. And yeah, I really wish everyone a great weekend, and keep on a lookout on the announcement channel, and have the notifications on our Twitter for the next features going live. And yeah, would be really interesting to see those features in action and grow more at Flash.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, guys.
I'm sorry to say OnlyFans still not being internally tested, so it's going to be a while until then. See you,
Friends,
everyone.
the video is being recorded.
Well, it's only been shared with you and us. It hasn't been shared with the team. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Keep love bantering with all of you in the chats. Continue to be mostly professional. Although once Demon Hour starts, never know what happens. See you, everyone. Thanks.